Hello. Hello. Ah,
Turn the microphone on. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. I got you now.
Okay. Go to gallery view. So how's it going there, Leroy?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Went to Hamvention. Had a great time. I didn't buy anything. Got rid of some stuff.
Did you cover the ticket price?
Actually, all said and done, after buying food there and the $30 ticket and the roughly $20 in food, I came out ahead by $10.
Oh,
So
what was the parking fee?
there wasn't one. No parking.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
They must have had a lot of parking space.
Looks to me like they've got some sort of different kind of arrangement with the city of Xenia or whatever. There was no fee. They did have overflow lots at I think the high school and a couple of the other schools, and they were busing people in with school buses. I don't know if those lots you had to pay for or not, but the main lot was free and was pretty much on the fairground property. I mean, it couldn't have been half mile, maybe. It was within walking distance.
Uh-huh.
So the Boy Scouts, which were across the street, were recruited to direct traffic, as well as the sheriffs and a couple of local cops that were up there. They were directing traffic, but Boy Scouts were actually parking people. They were, directing people where to actually park, and they were some of the things they were asking us to park. It's like, my car won't do that. my car won't turn that tight. Oh yeah, you're right. Go down there. Okay.
Well, you're talking about what? 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds?
Yeah, they were high school age, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Jim's
Yo,
here.
Jim.
Hey,
Hi.
honey,
So are your hummingbirds back?
I think I got a fox this morning.
A fox?
Yeah, the neighbor indicated she saw a fox. And I went and looked at my videos and dang, it sure looked hard to tell, but it looked like a fox popped up and he zipped out of there. Ooh, he lightning bolt.
How about your hummingbirds?
Yeah, I got hummingbirds. Yeah, I got a hummingbird at 429 today. Want to see?
Sure.
Let's see if it's made it to the upload site yet. Looks like it.
I'm in my meeting. That's why the door was closed.
We'll have a clue, do we?
You need to put one of those red and green lights above your door there.
I had one that said on the air and what at it, one of the places we lived, and the grandkids didn't care. They just come in anyway.
That's a good try.
Okay. So will the fox bother the cats?
The fox is about the same size as the cats. I went around, walked around in the front yard over to the side, and it looks like something had been busy just tearing up the moles. I think that may be our little foxy friend, because they dug they house to the tunnels, probably about 30 foot of tunnel was dug out.
Hmm.
I got to put a camera out front.
That's so foxes like moles. Interesting.
They do like mice and stuff like that.
So are you manually moving those backgrounds, Leroy, or are you,
Yes,
do you have,
yes, no, I'm doing it.
so you don't have an automated kind of a thing that,
No. No, I don't see that option here. I don't see an option to do random rotations or whatever. I was just trying to find a new picture.
oh, okay. Well, I went through those that Steve pointed us to last week.
Mm-hmm.
All 4,075 of them. He's got quite a collection there, I must say. I assume he's accumulated those over many, many years, but some are really, really interesting.
Yeah, I thought that the link that I clicked on would just download the ones I selected, and I ended up downloading all 5 gigs worth of pictures. I was like, oh, seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now
that's what I ended up doing too. I didn't, there seemed to be a way to select, but I just said, all right.
Yeah, well, I didn't
I-
realize I had downloaded all 5 gigs worth until it was done. And I was like, oh, now I got to go through and find the pictures I wanted again.
Well, it went pretty quick for me, I must say.
Me too.
I was amazed at how fast it was. It was, of course, I have 3 2T drives on this particular workstation, so I've got the space to dump the stuff on, and I'm pretty lazy about sorting things. I just download it and select what I want.
Me too. I just kind of went, oh, that one. Okay, we'll leave the rest. I'll look at them later.
Well, the thing is, I mean, we've gotten spoiled. Storage is so cheap these days that it's just, in the old day, I can remember, I owned an original XT and it had a 10 meg disk drive on it. And I thought, man, I'm in tall cotton now. And, uh, so quickly you get used to it, it being essentially free.
My first true IBM had a 20 meg drive on it, and I thought I was the Mac Daddy because I had more storage than my friends, and I quickly filled it up. It was full.
Yeah.
So you remember back in the day, they used to compress drives and do all kinds of funky stuff. I had the drive compressed, and then I had every individual file compressed so that, and I had a little script written that if I wanted to run a program, there was a little temporary drive set up that was uncompressed, and it would unzip the program into that and arrange it in the right order. And then it would run that program, but it was slow. It was like, yeah.
Well, one of the problems in those days was that the bandwidth was so low to download something
Hmm.
that took you forever to with those, what was it, 56K modems or whatever they were.
And you were lucky if you actually got 56K.
Yeah, but the point is they were nominally fixed
Yeah.
56K.
Yeah.
Well, the first modem I had was a 12, I think a 12K, something like that.
1200.
1200, right?
Yeah.
It was 1200. It wasn't. It was 1.2K actually. So, and I used those with what were they called? It was before the internet. This was where you hooked up with a telephone line.
Like a BBS, like a
Yeah,
bulletin board system. Yeah.
yeah, it was a BBS,
Yep.
and there were a lot of those, and so
Yeah. I see the Tandy or the TRS-80 that I had a built-in 300 baud modem, and everybody thought that was great because I remember having an old 110 baud modem. That was painful.
yeah.
But I remember having acoustic couplers. Those were 300 baud. Those were
Well,
pretty.
first ones were like 110.
Yeah.
And that was what, when I was at Rutgers in the late 70s, that was how we connected
Yep.
to the main frame. It was actually a mini computer. It was a PDP 8, I believe, at that point.
Yep.
And my older daughter sat there and killed Klingons on, she thought that was great.
The I had a 1200 baud modem for the Tandy, for the TRS-80 Model 100, and it had a port on the back of it that would let you plug acoustic cups into it, but they did not work well because 1200 baud was too prone to errors if it heard external noise, where 300 baud was a little more forgiving about external noise. But
well, none of them worked well when your mother picked up the phone line and tried to make a call. She says, "What's that funny noise I'm hearing?" So, well, you just knocked me offline.
We had local BBS to me. I lived in Middletown at the time, and one of my friends lived in Carlisle. He was local to Dayton, but I wasn't. I was local to him, and we had figured out that we could call his BBS and redirect and call out like a party line kind of deal, and call a Dayton BBS, and then we could drop the connection to him and stay connected to Dayton, and it was free. It didn't cost us any money to do that. So we could free his phone line up. We would tie his phone line up for 4 or 5 minutes while we were connecting, and we could free his phone line up and connect to the big BBSs that were in Dayton for nothing, for very, very little.
Mm-hmm.
And then the phone company figured out that we had found a loophole, and right before they broke up and the bells broke into smaller bells, they were putting a stop to that, and then suddenly they weren't, and everybody more or less became a local phone call.
Yeah, this is about 1981.
Mm-hmm.
It was when they, it was the Carter phone decision, I think. Although there were a number of decisions on telephone services in those days. The Carter phone decision, if I recall correctly, was the one where they allowed you to put your own equipment, attach your own equipment to the telephone line. And that, boy, that put the fat in the fire, so to speak.
Yep. Yep. I remember though, that was great times because we were like, we're getting away with stuff and it's perfectly legal. They can't really say anything. But I had to been 11, 12, maybe 13 when all that was going on.
Okay, I was a little older than that, to say the least. I'd already been married and divorced one time and had a kid. So actually, I had the second one at that point in time.
I think Jim's falling asleep.
Yeah. Nap time, isn't it?
Yeah, all
Didn't
right.
somebody say it's nap time or something?
Oh, well, this weather is
Oh,
is great.
I could live with this right now. It
Oh boy, you got some foliage there.
this is my claimed fox picture.
Oh yeah, I see him creeping through the.
oh yeah.
Now he's not red; he's kind of gray, isn't he?
At one point, he looks red right there, and
Oh,
then
okay.
you see him further over, but they're not brilliant red. Often they're somewhat gray. One place where he stops, he kind of looks red in the face, kind of like me right now, kind of red in the face.
Well,
I get Gail in here and let her look at that and see what she thinks. But it moves a lot like a fox. They're very quick. It's not a raccoon. Raccoons don't move that fast.
No, that looked like a fox.
well, I think that these are a different breed of fox than they use for the English hunts. The English hunts are kind of bright red, um, reddish orange is the way I would describe it.
Yeah, we've seen them around here. That's my neighbor's first time seeing one, and it is a treat.
We've been having a lot of complaints about coyotes down here recently, and types of fox. Wow. Oh, you're going to get all technical on us here.
there are a bunch of different kinds of foxes. There's the red fox and a fennec.
He used to be a comedian.
Red
Yeah.
fox, yeah. The gray fox.
Yeah.
The gray fox. The Corsac. He's the Corsac fox. The bad-eared fox. So, geez. That's what we need. We need a bad-eared fox. There's a bunch of different kinds of foxes.
Well,
I think
foxes.
I think that probably was a red fox.
Wow. Okay, that's quite impressive.
We have a lot of red foxes around here.
I saw one about 6 months ago, and She was shaggy looking. She didn't look good. She had a rough time. But I think maybe she's had pups and they're around because they really had like 30, 35 foot of mole holes dug up. I mean, dug up. You normally just see a hole dug and you into the mole hole. These were all dug up. You could see the hole all through the front yard. It was weird. They were busy little beavers.
Well, that's one way to get rid of the moles.
Yeah, I was pleased. I noticed one out in the woods the other day that was dug up like that. But now I got them in the front yard doing that. Okay, works for me. I'll flatten it out with a lawnmower. Okay.
Or you could use a roller.
Yeah. I got an aerator, might help them out a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I've got a sprinkler system I had installed, and so I can't use an aerator anymore. The aerator does a number on the sprinkler heads.
We have the red foxes and the gray foxes around here. And the way to identify them is by the tail.
Oh, one has a bushy tail.
The gray fox has a black tip,
Oh, okay.
and the other one is black hairs mixed with red that ends up looking white, like a white tip, like a white tip. So the red fox has a white tip and the gray fox has a black tip. So that's how you can figure out which fox that is. By looking at the tail.
Yeah, they're relatively small.
They're extremely common, according to the IO National Resources thing.
Compared to raccoons, they're not very common. We see raccoons any given day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's enough foxes around that they're common enough. They're not a. I mean, you're going to see them
or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, the raccoons are the ones that tend to get into the trash cans and so forth.
Yeah, the raccoons are a nuisance.
I need to put out some trail cams for this fox. He's captured my attention.
You need to try to get a good picture of his tail and see if it's got a white tip or a black tip. Because that's apparently how you could tell them apart.
I got hummingbirds in the backyard, but not the front yard.
That's interesting. Why do you suppose that is? Is it warmer in the backyard or something?
I don't know. We kind of messed up in the front yard. Gail put 2 feeders and then took one of them away. And also there's kind of reflection off the bay window. And that might scare them in the front window.
Yeah. Well, do you have different flowers in the front than in the back? Because they feed off the nectar.
Yeah, we don't have many flowers right now. There's not much going on there. They're just starting to come out. The honeysuckle's starting to bloom. Woohoo!
Yeah, I see that in the fields around us up here, particularly along the hedgerows.
Wonder if you could domesticate a fox.
Well,
That's related to a dog. I mean,
well, they're all in the canine family, but
I wonder if you'd want to.
that's the question. I think a jackal is also in the canine family, and I'm not sure I'd want one of those suckers domesticated.
Foxes are like really pretty animals. They are fast. Wow. No. Apparently, we can legally own a fox.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I will put a link in the thing.
In the chat?
Yes, in the chat.
Yeah, you can probably try to train them like a raccoon. A lot of people have made raccoons pets, but a lot of people have been bit too. If you harass
Well, yeah,
trap it.
yeah, raccoons can also they have horrendous claws on them.
I wouldn't want to own a raccoon. Something related to a dog, though. That would be cool. Not that I really want to own a fox. It's just one of those. Could we?
And watch below zero, you'll see Sue and her Foxy. She's got a kind of a pet that hangs around her place in Alaska. Steals her birds and stuff from her. Yeah, the birds are getting busy again.
Ray! So, did you have fun at Hamvention, Ray?
Did you buy something, Ray? Oh,
I got a project for you to work on, Leroy.
Okay.
It's a tablet.
Okay.
I know you're smart enough to do this.
So it's a build-it-yourself tablet.
No, it's a prison tablet.
A prison tab. Oh, okay.
So they're clear so that you can see inside of them so that they can't smuggle drugs. and other, contraband. But it's a decent sized tablet. I mean, it's corner to corner, probably 7.5 inches. It has a decent screen. Has pretty good color. Gonna turn on in just a minute. I'll show it to you then. But in order to put it into the, let's got some lights coming up here. In order to get it into the prison, they did a couple modifications to it. They removed the volume up and down. They removed the home button, removed the camera. I'm thinking maybe they removed the microphone, and I'm guessing they removed Wi-Fi, but they left a Bluetooth in it. So there's still a Bluetooth up here and right there. It's got a USB connection, HDMI connection, power connector, USB. I charged them using the USB, and it's got an earphone jack, headphone jack. So what I'm thinking is I need to find somebody that is willing to waste half their night doing research and looking at what they can download. You might need to make a bed of nails in order to integrate to the a spy bus or something like that. That way you can download a new firmware or new OS onto it. It is Android based, so I'm thinking it shouldn't be too difficult.
So who is selling prison tablets?
I bought like 9 of them for $4 each at the Hamvention, and I thought, for $4 each, there's something to play with. I mean, hell, nothing else. There's a nice big battery in there, and
I put a link in the chat, Ray. Is that the tablet?
it's a UTab 7.
Yeah. Okay, that's something. That's for the music, to download music. UTab 7.
From Onion Supply Media. But yeah, I'm not fully sure what all is going into it, but X Y U L U. It's got a 32 gigabyte
Yeah,
internal.
I think it does have Wi-Fi. Because how else are you going to listen to the music?
Well, supposedly they were downloaded, like you would buy the tablet with it pre-installed, the music, and
No, that link that I just put in there is where you can subscribe to music
so
using your jail pay.
Right here, there's this nice antenna that goes across.
Yeah.
So that would make me think that there's the real tech. Maybe that's the Wi-Fi,
That's
not
Wi-Fi.
Bluetooth.
That's Wi-Fi.
Okay. Well, if it's got Wi-Fi, I might look somewhere else to see if it's got Bluetooth. Yeah, it's got flash. Camera's gone though. Absolutely guarantee that one.
So it's only got one button though, right?
It's got one power button.
Are there any
It
any
does not
buttons?
have a home button, no volume up, no volume down. Those are in the software. I've already played with that.
Can you get
so
into the
it came with videos in it, like surviving on the inside, preparing for your release, some other stuff. It's straight up, you know, don't be an asshole in prison or you'll get raped, that kind of shit. I'm sorry. We're being recorded probably.
I think we may just have changed category.
our
I can see it.
our whole
Whoever
meeting
picked
has
rated
taken a
G to rated
turn.
PG.
We have taken a turn.
Oh man, it's all good. But anyway,
so usually to load new firmware on an Android device, you have to get into the boot thing.
right?
And usually to do that, you hold the power key and the volume down button at the same time while you're turning it on. And that will usually bring you into like a firmware dealy bop.
Okay.
So without a volume button, I don't know how you would get into the firmware. So I don't know how you could change the firmware. So if
I
there's
think you can take the cover off and
if there's
you
a
can get access to
physical,
those buttons.
if there's a button inside,
Yeah.
you might be able to do it.
But I can
looks,
easily bring one of these to you and you can mess with it.
I don't know if I want to. It looks like it's running Android 4.2, which is antique by today's standards. So there's probably a firmware that you could stick on there. The biggest problem is they've done some custom work for the soft keys to make the volume keys and that stuff work. So any firmware that I find that we could possibly stick on there would be limited because there's no soft key function. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, I hear you. But are you telling me that they don't normally come with a soft key?
No, you usually don't get the soft keys.
What the
you
heck?
You might get the soft keys for the home buttons. Android got rid of the home button a long time ago, but the volume buttons and that stuff, no, that's all that's almost always a physical button. So there might be an issue there.
Okay.
So were they selling lots of these?
No, when I got there were only 9 of them left. So I went ahead and bought them.
I've seen these before. UTAB isn't the only one that makes something for the prison. There's a couple of other companies doing it, and I've seen these before. They're very limited because they only want the prisoners to be able to watch movies or listen to music. They don't want them to be able to make phone calls from them. They don't want them to be able to do a video call because they could call people that they shouldn't be calling and all that. And I mean, they are what they are. They're just really stripped down versions of an Android tablet that may or may not be able to actually function out in the real world.
Okay.
So I mean, at least Ray didn't spend a whole lot for these, and he could destroy them getting the batteries.
Yes, I will have fun getting the battery out. I spent more money on micro SD adapters.
The battery probably is worth $4. I mean,
Yeah, probably, yeah.
so, I mean, I did a real fast search. I don't see any replacement firmware for that, but I could Google it a little bit more later. But I think with the nature of what that is, it is what it is, and that's what
I
it
think
is.
you're so excited about this project that you're like gonna drive over here and pick one up and all right, awesome, Ray. That's amazing.
Ray really wants me to do this. Now, there is a possibility if you could get into the firmware, the bootloader, there is a possibility, but I wouldn't hold out much hope.
I think that you can get into it, but if not, I got batteries. I got some batteries to play with.
You do have battery, and you have a 7-inch screen that might be able to work on something else. Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. That's cool.
So is there a big market for tablets in prison?
When you're that bored, you would probably pay a lot of money for anything to do. You got 6 months or a few years to do nothing. They want you to get a little bit of education, maybe study something.
It's more of a trying to control the population of the prison. If they're doing something, they're not
control
fighting.
The population. It's not like they're going to multiply.
That's not really what I meant. But if they're doing something on their tablet, they're not fighting. They're not trying to kill each other. That's
well.
Of course, that could backfire too. You watch the wrong movie.
Yeah.
I think from everything I've seen and read about these things, they control very much what you can and cannot do with these tablets. You know,
it's a prison. I would say, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's only like a half a dozen movies you could download or whatever. You know,
I think you have to receive them with the audio on it or with the movie, the content on them. You're not going to be going to iTunes and downloading whatever you want.
A lot of like LCI, they've got a computer lab. They may be able to reload them in the computer lab, but you have to buy them. I mean, the prisoners get a small stipend and they have to buy that content. So that's how that works.
Wait a minute. They get free money for being in college. Free money for being in prison?
No, they get money for doing jobs.
It's not much, but they get money for like cleaning the road and cleaning trash and whatever.
So what's LCI?
Lebanon Correctional Institute. I knew you were going to ask.
And WCI. What's WCI?
Warren County Correctional.
So
and they're right next to each other.
So are these heavy duty prisons like Leavenworth and so forth, or are they more like jails?
They are medium. I want to say they're medium security prisons.
Yeah.
One of the guys at the yoga club, yoga place we used to go, worked up there at Lebanon and called it a gated community.
Okay.
I think what Warren County is the medium security and LCI is the low security. There's two different, they're right next to each other. They're two different prisons, but I think they've got different. One of them teaches you how to function in society, and one of them locks you up and throws away the key. I think LCI has like farming programs and does the road work and stuff. I think they're the ones that are trying to teach you to do something. But I know I was offered a job at one of them, and they told me that I would be behind like a steel cage to talk to the prisoners because you didn't want to mess with the actual population of the prison.
They offered me a job there too, but it was going to be as a prisoner. So
Oh yeah.
That's a good job. Sure. So I saw Ray at Hamvention. He was lasering stuff.
I was working hard.
You were playing. You were having great fun.
I was having a lot of fun. Every kid that came by got a free knife. Every woman that came by got a hard time, and I was flirting with them. And my wife knows it. We did pretty good. It was a fun event. We enjoy doing that every year.
So do you actually do sales there or not?
We try to. We try to sell a laser machine, but we take the laser machines to the ham convention, and basically we tell everybody who walks by, we're two companies. One company is what we do every day during the day. We're importing and distributing, selling laser machines. The other company is, hey, here at the show, we're going to laser engrave knives, cups, tumblers, keychains, whatever they want to have laser engraved. And I was giving away knives. We were doing multi-tools, stuff like that. Pocket knives. Not like Chinese throwing stars, no switchblades, nothing like that. But we had people bringing their laptop computers to engrave the bottom with their name and address, phone number, all kinds of other stuff. Yeah, we didn't even plan to take knives until like the last minute, and then we were like, hey, yeah, we got a whole bunch of these extra knives. Let's take these and engrave on them. And okay, I see you later, babe. Okay. So we took all the knives we had, and we basically ran out. And I found somebody else that was selling confiscated knives from TSA. Not from the prison, from
Really?
TSA. So, yeah, really.
The stuff you could find at Hamvention.
Yeah, they had all these knives from confiscated from the airport, and I thought, okay, well, this is funny, and like, hey, let's look and see what you got. And yeah, they had all kinds of multi-tools and fingernail clippers and all kinds of stuff. But I didn't get the confiscated tools until pretty late. So we just ended up selling out our normal knives, and yeah, they're gone. But I think we had one guy that came in, and he was like, this is a neat novelty to give to all of his customers. So he bought the smaller knives that we had for $5 each, and he had his company name engraved into them. Then the next day he comes back and he's like, yeah, I want to get some more. And we're like, okay, yeah, no problem. He's like, yeah, I'll take 35 of these knives, and I'll take 5 of these. And like, holy crap, dude. It's just funny though. Yeah. So I was like, hey Kyle, you got work to do now.
Yeah, I saw him engraving a flask with his
yeah, I was,
fiber laser.
did you see him doing a flash or me?
You.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did some flasks. They're are we allowed to talk about engraving flasks on this channel?
I
It's
don't know why
alcohol.
not. No, a
The
flask
has a
isn't
little bit
out.
of curvature to it, so it was a little bit of a trick to engrave on those.
A
But
flask isn't alcohol. A flask can hold water.
just a container, right?
It's just a container.
I thought that taking the paint off of the flask would be easier, and it is easier with a CO2 laser, but I was using the fiber laser. And the fiber laser has the ability to damage the metal underneath of it. So you got to be careful. But when it comes to the stainless steel without any paint on them, and you're leaving a black mark on the stainless, man, that was easy. That was great. I mean, those turn out looking beautiful. So, leaving a dark black mark on the stainless steel, I was like, heck yeah. I was amazed. Looks great.
So you just changed the dwell time in order to not hit the metal?
For the ones that were painted, and I was trying to take that away, I turned the power down really low, and my scanning was relatively fast, so it would burn the paint off, and then the next pass was barely enough to burn off the residue and not scar the aluminum or the stainless steel very much. So yeah, it was low power. I mean, you could still tell that the laser hit it, but it didn't scar it so bad that it ruined the flask. Not at all. It turned out nice. Yeah, turned out real nice.
So it sounds like these would make good advertising samples for a lot of different companies, so they can put their
Yes.
logo on it. And
Yep. If you're doing arts and crafts, we're talking about like the knives do good for advertising. The tumblers. So you got a Polar Camel tumbler that was 20 ounce. We had some 20-ounce tumblers that had handles on them, and those are nice because once you hit a 30-ounce tumbler, it's really hard to make sure it's going to fit into the cup holder in your car.
yeah,
But it was a lot of fun. I'm not sure what we're going to do next year, but I don't want to do tumblers again. I don't want to do knives again. I think we burn out knives pretty well. So maybe we'll do throwing swords and katanas, throwing stars and swords and stuff. Yeah.
so do you think any of these will generate sales for lasers themselves or laser services?
We had somewhere between 5 and 10 people that were specifically interested in talking with us about laser machine sales. So considering that the point of going to the trade show was to do marketing, it was nice that we actually came back with a profit of a few $1,000s. So selling knives and cups, doing the knives and cups was more a demonstration of what the laser machines can do and the fact that it's all viable as an income business. People get to see what we're able to do, how much work it takes, how difficult it is, how to use the software, and they can stand right on your shoulder and watch what you're doing as we're taking orders and making money.
Yeah, they're doing that down at the library now. I'm giving you crap.
What's this?
You don't have to buy a laser machine. You just go down to the library and use theirs to do all the work.
Yeah.
I don't have to buy a laser machine. I know where Ray is. I know how to make one of those work.
So Ray, are you selling any laser machines to libraries?
Yes, we've done a few libraries. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Not a lot of libraries, but a few. Definitely a lot more colleges and schools, and extreme home hobbyists.
Vicente.
That I would consider him there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When,
I saw
when
Vicente at the Hamvention.
I didn't see him. He texted me and said that he was there, and I couldn't find him. So
Yeah, he stopped by and saw my booth. Big thumbs up, said hi.
So what is your estimate of the turnout for the whole Hamvention?
They were saying that this was a benchmark year, that this was one of the largest turnouts of we've had ever since we started doing it at Xenia. So, I mean, that itself says they're happy with the results.
What percentage are hams?
wow.
A very high percentage, I think.
Yeah, I would say it has to be 85 plus.
Oh yeah.
It seems to be blossoming into other things too.
You're saying people go there and they don't do radio stuff?
Yeah, well, nobody we know.
You even when they were at Hera, they
There's
had
always people there that are doing
Yeah.
stuff that's not radio stuff. I mean, we had somebody there selling little giant ladders when we were at Hera.
yeah,
People doing the spools that hold extension cords. People selling radio, antenna masts, antenna towers. That's normal.
I saw a guy trying to sell eyeglass cleaner there. I'm like,
Yes,
okay.
and I actually bought it one.
I was like, that is, yeah, that stuff. I'm like sitting there going, okay, Ray is at least appealing to the hobbyists / potential other businesses, but
Well, myself, my daughter, my
eyeglass
dad, we're all
cleaners.
him to radio.
yeah,
Okay. But the logo going onto all these cups is ham radio. We're trying to show people, hey, take something home that helps you to remember your experience at the Dayton Ham Convention.
Well,
Okay.
I just said, your business and what you were doing is adjacent to an actual hobby, where eyeglass cleaner was like, why are you here?
I remember the guy that was like, he was welding this, I guess he was melting a stick of metal into a pop can to repair the pop cans. You remember them doing that, right?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember one year at Hare, I didn't go that year, but it was Hamvention and computer show. And I was like, okay. So it's always been more than just Hamvention. But I'd say Hamvention makes up most of it.
I mean, you go there. I bought you guys know I bought some more computers.
Did you?
What a shock. What a shock.
What a shock. I bought 70 more of the small form factor computers.
Yeah.
And I bought 80 of the video cards. But I got a pretty good deal, or otherwise I would have bought them, right? The video cards were not top of the line, but they're pretty good in their day. There are 1 gig. They've got DVI and DisplayPort, and they are DirectX 11 and OpenGL 4. compatible. So they'll run pretty much everything you need nowadays. You know, I bought the one card specifically to upgrade my son's 3D printer computer, because you have to have a video card with some kind of hardware based running DirectX 7 or DirectX to be better. You know, I tried using the software emulation for doing the video card stuff, and it just wouldn't support it. It was so slow, dragging it down. It's just horrible. I installed the video card, and it was like, wow, the video card just took over everything, and completely faster, significantly better. Yeah.
So the slicer needs a good video card?
Cura. Yeah, Cura. It didn't want to run without a decent
Wow.
video card. Yeah. And
Yeah.
it wasn't by chance that I discovered it, but you know, it was I was so surprised as soon as I installed the video card, got the video card drivers with the OpenGL and DirectX 11. Yeah, it just whipped right into proper speeds.
That's surprising, but of course I use Cura on Linux, so you know I don't have that problem.
I don't know.
But yeah, I did you get those computers from a guy outside?
No, I bought them. Actually, I met a guy in Orlando when we were
Okay.
down there for Hamcation, and he sent me an email. He's like, "Yeah, I remember you were looking for this type of computer." I was like, "Yeah." So, it's a good type of computer. I don't feel like I'm diverging so much. Hey, I've just got a crap load of computers. These are all the same style. You know, they're all small form factor. You know, 710, 720, whatever, 900, the numbers, and with all compatible power supplies, disk drives, you know, all that fun stuff.
There was a guy out in the field. He probably had 400 computers, and they were those small form factor machines.
I did not know.
Yeah. Well, in the 2 days that I went up there, I walked 8 miles and didn't see didn't even come close to seeing everything.
Did you see the guy outside that was selling? He had a stack of MakerBot 2X.
I did see the MakerBots, but I wasn't all that interested in another 3D printer. I walked out of there buying nothing. I walked out of there coming out ahead $10. That was after buying food and everything. I came out ahead $10.
How'd you do that?
Because that ham radio club that I joined, they had a booth out there and they let us put some stuff out, and I sold $50 worth of stuff, which is what it cost me to eat and get in the door.
That's good.
So I guess I sold $60 worth. I came out $10 ahead, so I guess I sold $60 worth of stuff. But so I considered it a pretty good day time, because I basically got in Hamvention for free, and I didn't have to buy anything.
I bought phone chargers, a whole boxes and boxes full of video cables, video adapters. I found somebody had a whole bunch of these. They look like they're just adapters, but they're not. They're authorization dongles for 3D Studio Max.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I said. What the heck?
They're passed through, but they've got some electronics in them to authorize the software.
Yep. So all you gotta do is download the software and Now you can use 3D Studio Max.
As long as you've got a printer port on your computer.
I'm not sure if it's a printer port or if it's a serial port.
Probably a serial
It's
port.
probably, I'm thinking it's probably a printer port. I don't know. I'm not going to tear it open to find out. I'd rather do some research.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a guy the first day, he had a couple of Apple IIe's out there, and I actually went back to talk to him about them, and they were gone. And I was like, okay. And a guy had some old Macintosh classics, and I went back to talk to that guy, and they were gone.
So they've become a collector's item or what?
Well, yeah, I mean, some of that stuff, especially if it still works, you know, some of that stuff's worth big money. The guy had on the two Apple IIe's that I saw, one of them was $450 and one of them was $500. And I don't know what he ended up selling them for, but I can't imagine he would take much less than what he was asking for them, because they probably were worth that to somebody.
Well, looks like Ken's trying to sneak in the back door there. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
How you doing?
Good.
I'm muting you, Ray, if you're talking on the phone.
I'm not talking on the phone.
No,
Ray's
Ray.
Ray's not talking on the phone
Ray
either.
was on the phone.
What's going on, Kenny?
Not much. Just kind of pushing the ball down the road. Doing good.
Cool. So, yeah,
What is it?
I was going to say, when we were talking earlier about storage, I ended up buying an 18 terabyte.
Holy crap.
18 terabyte. It was $20 more than the 16 terabyte that I went to get. And when I saw it sitting on the shelf, I was like, that's only $20 more for two more terabytes.
So where'd you get it?
Best Buy in
Really?
Florence, Kentucky. Yep. We went down to Florence on Sunday for grandkid's birthday. And every time I go down there, I go to Half Price Books and a couple other places. And I just happened to see Best Buy across the street. And I said, let's go in there, because I needed a bigger hard drive. And I saw it. I was like, oh, that price is great. It's like $250 for that. So you're talking about free storage. That's pretty close. Not quite, but it's right up there. It's replacing two of my aging 8 terabyte drives. So I have spent most of the day moving everything from the 8 terabytes to this thing. And it's been a little slow, but I got it done right before the meeting started.
So what medium are you moving it across?
Well, I actually thought that I had both drives plugged into USB 3, but apparently one of the USB 3s is the super speed, and one of them was a standard speed USB 3. So it took a little while longer. I thought I had two super speed
Had to be painful.
ports. Yeah. Yeah, I thought I had two super speed ports on this machine, but it didn't appear so. It appeared like that was not the case. But then again, the 8 terabytes have been in service for 5 years and they've been constantly running. So they may just be getting to the point that they're tired.
That
Which is why
18 terabyte drive, is it solid state or anything, or just all spinning?
it's all spinning, unfortunately. So I can't afford a solid state drive.
Well,
So who
certainly
makes-
if you're gonna want to use it for archival purposes, you want spinning drives.
Yeah.
So who makes it, right?
Western Digital.
Okay.
And I have used that particular brand for a decade now, and they've always been a good solid drive. I mean, I've still got some old 1 terabyte drives that of that same series that are still chunking away. They've slowed massively down, but they're still kicking.
Hmm.
Do you think it's just a perception that they slowed down, or you think they really did slow down?
Can't say. I think they've slowed down. I think the drives. I mean, we're talking really old drives. I think they're starting to fail if they haven't already. Which is why I wanted to replace the 8 terabytes in the first place, because I could see it across the network that things were not moving as fast as I thought they should. Oh. But I was just going to replace the two 8 terabytes with a 16 and be left with no storage, basically. When I saw that drive was actually only $20 more, I was like, oh, okay, that'll work. My two 8 terabytes weren't completely full. I still had, I think I've got 15 terabytes filled up on that. So there's 3 terabytes left. Give or take a little.
So
That-
why so much data? I mean, are you got a lot of movies or something, or what?
Yes, But
Yes.
but I'm not saying that. I didn't say nothing.
Okay.
No, we don't know nothing.
Okie doke.
They're going to come after me now. The YouTube algorithm is going to hunt me down.
The U2 algorithm?
The
YouTube.
Oh,
YouTube
YouTube.
algorithm is going to hunt me down.
They're going to convert ChatGPT to police officers.
Bard. Google owns Bard.
So Ken, what's up with you?
Well, we've been doing some house repairs. We had backsplash in the kitchen put in. Tile girl did that. And Dan, the gutter man, put some new gutters up. And bought a sunset awning for the back deck.
This is one of these electronic things that rolls out.
Yeah. But it has like arms that comes out. And it comes out with 2 arms coming out together, and then comes and retracts together. So yeah. And I had my tree guy trim up the trees. And Dan, Bob, the grass guy, he cut the grass today. So things are looking up. I'm trying
And
to
you
get all
just-
my summer. trying to get all my summer projects done before the holiday, so then I can play all summer.
So you just sit back and manage the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yes,
like a plantation owner, so to speak.
but I need a new stove. I had the stove I retired, so I have to get a new stove. But I don't use the stove, but for Thanksgiving and for fish. That's it.
For fish.
Yeah. Yeah, I go to Kroger and you get this, you can put fish in a pouch and then you take it home and cook it in the stove. So that's pretty good. And all the cameras work. Yeah. I
Okay.
used my app on my phone to open and close the garage door from work today, which was nice. I saw Tile Girl pull up into the driveway on my Ring camera. Yeah, that was nice. Yeah, things are starting to take shape.
Good.
My nephew sent me a picture of the Eiffel Tower over in Paris. Told me, wish you were here. So I put in my application for my passport so I can go over there. His girlfriend lives over there, so he flies from New York back and forth all the time. So yeah, that's just about it.
So when are you planning to go to Paris?
I'm thinking the fall. Okay, I'm thinking the fall. I'd like to go to the Grand Canyon. Okay, in the fall and Paris in the fall. So and probably head out to Baltimore sometime in July. Do a little rafting. That's the plan. So Miss Baltimore said I could come out and enjoy her for a week.
Oh yeah?
There's a beginning and there's an end. So yeah, that's good. Well, that's basically what we got. I did something stupid. Last night I got tired and I didn't reel the hose in for the watering the grass, and I didn't quite turn it all off. And this morning I woke up with a garage full of water. So the new seal I put on the door, okay, I had a new seal put on the door, and I had a new spring for the door put on. Been there for 26 years and hadn't failed, so I figured, well, I got my money's worth. Time to replace it. So some of my projects to get done before the summer. And I've lost 30 pounds since January 1st.
Wow.
Yeah,
To what do you attribute that?
good living.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, good living. Yeah, diet, not and exercise. I go to the gym 3 times a week. So, but I don't chase the gazelles. Mm-mm. I look, but don't chase.
I think I wish mine would run away.
Yeah. They get on that treadmill and they just keep on pumping and pumping and pumping. And I tried one time to try to keep up. I said, ooh, my heart. So I said, no more, no mas. Yeah. I even repaired the mailbox. Yep. Pretty good. And put crown molding on in the kitchen. Went to Menards and got some LED lights and mounted them underneath the new kitchen cabinets, and got a Google hockey puck, and I'd say, okay, Google, turn on kitchen cabinet lights, and all 4 lights come on. It's kind of nice. But the new hockey pucks they have, that's what she just did. She turned them all on. And
Well, mine said it didn't understand.
mine did. So, but they have now hockey pucks that not only Google, but Apple, they can go either way. Whereas before it was just Google pucks, hockey pucks. So the new ones can do both. So,
they're bilingual.
yeah. But I haven't been down to Best Buy in the month of May, so yeah. But the new router is doing pretty good. Yeah. It's Netgear. Which Blue Hawk or something like that. So I can be on the deck, or I can be in the front yard, and I could be upstairs or downstairs. Perfect. So and Mint, I signed up for another year for Mint. It's $180 a year plus $20 for tax. I'm done. And that's now up to 5 gigabytes for the month. So yeah, I never get there, but I'm re-signed up for Mint. So that should do me good.
Yeah, I've got to do that too.
Ryan Reynolds sold Mint Mobile. Did you guys know that?
Yep.
Yeah.
So he used to own Mint, and he sold it. He used to own the vodka company, and he sold that. So he's now a multi-billionaire.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I knew he sold Mint, but I didn't know he sold the vodka thing. Okay. Nice. Nice.
Yeah, I bet his ex-wife is regretting what she did. Divorcing.
Yep.
It's cleaning it out.
Was she?
Oh well.
I've considered selling, some of the stuff like I've got, the businesses and stuff, and I don't know. I think my wife would just take half of it, and then I'd be regretting something.
Brother came up from Fort Myers and dropped one of his friends down there. She sold her house after the big storm went through, and she had these televisions. So I inherited the television, brought a television up for me. So yeah, that was nice. Put that upstairs in the master bedroom. So art is just like a little of this, little of that, just kind of rounded it all off. So Leroy, you went to the ham store thing on Saturday?
I did.
Was it busy?
Yes. Yeah. And it was hot. It was very, very hot.
Hello.
Oh, Steve's here. Hey.
There he is.
I'm gonna show up eventually. Can you hear me?
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, I was at work.
I had like 3 updates. Zoom had me update 3 different securities, it looks like, before I could join today. Anybody else go through that?
Yeah, and then it goes.
Okay.
Windows or Linux?
Windows.
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 Mhm.
I've been staying on up to date. So I did check something going on. Hang on. Okay.
So are you in California?
No, I'm in Milford.
Milford, okay.
Yeah, I've been here since the 16th. We flew in on Tuesday, the 16th.
Okay. Not as hot, a little nicer, I think.
No, it's about the same,
About the same?
roughly. See, I'm in Northern California. I'm not in
Oh,
Southern California.
I'm thinking Southern California, Los Angeles.
Nah, that's 400 or 500 miles away from where I live.
Mm. So where are you? Sacramento with relationship to that.
Well, I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area, so
Okay.
I live in Fremont, which
Okay.
is at the southeast corner of San Francisco Bay. It's the outer
Okay.
perimeter of Silicon Valley in its classic sense.
Are you familiar with Gilmore?
Gilroy?
Gilroy, that's it.
You're talking about the garlic capital of the world? Yes.
Yeah,
That's straight south of San Francisco Bay,
right.
about 30, 40 miles, something like that. It's south of San Jose.
Been there several times.
Yep.
Yep.
We used to go there, but it got to be it's a tremendous crowd, and parking takes you an hour to get into a parking lot. So
Ooh.
it was, I don't think we've been there in at least 15, 20 years, something like that.
Hmm.
Excuse me.
Oh yeah, I have a bike for sale. A Yamaha bike, barely used, low mileage, perfect maintenance. Okay, it's blue book value, no problem. Okay, it does run, but I have decided that I'm too old for it. So, yeah.
What is it?
It's a Yamaha bike. Okay, 650. It's a good beginner's bike. The idea is,
650?
yeah, it's small, but still it's powerful enough to drive around the streets, but not good on the interstate. I took it on the interstate one time on a Sunday morning, and the truck went by, big interstate, and the front wheel went a little up in the air. I said, not good. Foofer.
You know, yeah,
So yeah, it's got 10,000 miles. Good. I put new tires on it last year. It runs real good. It's a good beginner's bike.
Let's see a picture.
or the model
Um,
number or something.
I think I can get that. Yeah. I don't know if I can get. I don't know how to get it onto the Zoom here.
Go down and where it says share screen.
Share screen. Okay.
First you get it up.
Yep. First you
It's
put the
your-
picture somewhere and then you Display
it's
the
on-
picture.
It's on my phone, so
Oh,
it's in the cloud. It's in the cloud. Okay,
Is it on photos? Is it in photos?
it's photos in the cloud. Photos.
Yeah, well, you can get that on your computer. Some would say.
I
I
would
can
think
probably find it. What year is it?
it's a 2000.
And it's twin or four cylinder?
4.
Okay. Front, well. For that year, they had the Bighorn. No, that's not. XJ650. That's a
Could be.
four cylinder.
Yeah, it could be. Let's see. What in the world is it?
Does it look something like that?
Yeah, it does. Exactly like that.
That's a twin. That's a two cylinder.
That's a 2-cylinder?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
okay,
that's
yeah.
a VMAX.
Yeah, it's a V. Not 4, yeah. It's 2.
Steve, you ready to bite? Oh yeah, Steve's ready to go. Get the youngsters in the group. Yeah.
how much?
Asking 2,700. But we'll take 2,500.
Don't
Wait.
lead with that. You should be able to get that, honestly.
Yeah.
Spoke wheels or
I
Looks
got
like
two
spoke.
pictures.
This
Yeah,
boat.
spokes wheels.
A word of caution, okay? If you want to ride that bike, don't lean down and try to get something off the ground because you will burn your hand like I burned mine. Not good. Burnt. But it's a good kick around bike. It has a place where you can put bags on it, but the bag kind of got used and I threw them away. But it has enough power to get out of the way of cars. So, but on the interstate, not so good. Not so
So
good.
did you buy it new?
No, my brother ran into some financial problems one time, and he said he had his bike for sale. I said, bring it down, I'll buy it. So I bought it from him. So, but yeah, I paid full price with him. He needed the cash. So yeah. But I've had it for 10 years now, and I've enjoyed it. And I only had to lay it down twice, so it's not too bad. But I got on the bike this year, and I could notice that I didn't quite have the balance I've had in the past. And I said, time to go. And it's like the other day, I was driving down the highway, and usually I do 35 in the area. Some guy on a bike pulled out and behind this car, and it was in my lane. I had to hit the brakes and honk the horn if I hadn't done that, I had killed him. Yep, I would hit him head on. So, there's too many distracted drivers out there. A red light doesn't mean red, and a yellow light means go. No more caution. So
No, yellow it means go faster.
go faster.
That's
Oh yeah.
that's what
So-
a yellow light means.
So it's best for me to let it go.
I knew somebody that was looking for a motorcycle. So I will see if they're still looking.
This is the time to buy it, 1st of June, because then you have all of June, July, August, and September, part of October to enjoy it.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't really know what he was looking for. I know he's an inexperienced rider, so that
Yeah.
probably would be a good bike for him.
It's a good starter bike. Definitely is a good starter bike. You don't want anything lighter than that. But you know, if you get a Harley, my buddy's selling his Harley for 21,000. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. So you're looking at 2,700 versus 21,000.
Yeah.
A big difference. But if you lay down a Harley, it takes like 2 people, maybe 3 people to pick it up. It's heavy.
Yep.
And you
Yeah.
pay through the nose when it comes to parts and everything with a Harley. So not that good.
Yeah.
So that's what I got.
I don't know anything.
I was constructive today. I put up a Yagi antenna.
Wow.
Impressive.
A Yogi
I know
antenna?
it was hard work.
Oh, wow. That was not at all what I was thinking. Trying to get a little more range out into the field.
Yeah, I got that the woods and wood camera. And all the limbs and stuff. Trying to get through that. Put in a replacement 16 port hub today or switch.
I see one of my 3D printing from the resin printer broke open today, and apparently the resin had not hardened and it leaked everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not real sure what happened there, because I had a little miniature TARDIS sitting on my desk, and all of a sudden I just see it kind of crack open, and I'm like, that's not good. And the that one was one that I was playing around with anyway, and I had told it to not print, not make it solid. I told it to make to put in like an infill in it, and I guess when you tell it to do that, it doesn't harden everything, and stuff doesn't drain out of it while it's pulling it up, because that's the only thing I could think of is the cavity that was in there held the liquid.
What
And
color?
So is this UV cured or what?
Supposed to be, yeah. But if the outside got cured and the inside didn't, but what were you saying, Steve?
I'm curious what color it was and how did that smell?
I couldn't smell it.
Not
It
really.
was gray, and I mean, it was just like the resin. It looked exactly like the resin.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
It's just that was the well, I don't have much experience with that printer anyway, but that's the first time that's happened. So I will know never to tell it to make a hollow print again.
Yeah. Got to have drain holes.
Yeah. So that's a good learning experience, but that it was about yay tall, an inch and a half tall, maybe 2 inches. So there wasn't a lot of resin, but there was enough that it went a lot of places that I didn't really want resin to go. Especially when you're not expecting it to do it in the first place. So, and I'm not real sure why it broke open. That's the thing that kind of got me, was why did it just suddenly decide to crack? I don't know if it got too hot or I don't know what the deal was.
Future thing. You can generally shake something like that and hear if it's got liquid in it. If it does, set it outside in the sun, let it bake for days.
That's usually how, or that's how I had been carrying them, was setting them out in the sun. Now I didn't leave it out there for, I mean, it probably was out there for 12 hours. It wasn't out there for days. So, I mean, it's all a learning experience. It's just one of those things that I went, okay, now I know not to do that anymore.
You have to set it outside, or can you just put it in the window?
Depends on whether you've got e-glass or not. How much blocking are you doing a UV? And basically you just need to pump energy in it to get the monomers to polymerize. I don't know that I would want to try it, but you might want to stick it in the microwave for a moment. Give it 15 or 20 seconds. Not enough to boil it, but enough time to pump some energy into it.
So you're saying it will thermally polymerize rather than the UV polymerization?
Well, it isn't. It just needs energy to form the monomers into polymers. It's not, it doesn't really care where that energy comes from. Technically, you can shake it real hard for a long time and it'll do that. Neat thing, you can shake an egg until it turns hard boiled. It's not cooked, but it'll be solid. Just hold an egg, put it in a paint shaker, give it a while.
That I'll have to try. So you're saying just vibrating it really fast will cause it to polymerize the yolk, or
Yep.
or no, the
Both actually.
All of it. Wow. Can you get
That's
scrambled? Can you make it scrambled before it gets out of the shell?
Probably. If
just
you
got to get
poking a tiny hole in it, put a pinhole in it, stick a paper clip wire down in there and stir it around a little bit.
I got some ideas.
So can you laser
gonna test that one.
polymerize that, or
I got some ideas. That sounds like fun. I got a fiber laser. I could 3D cook that one. That sounds like fun.
Actually, that would be kind of cool. If it's infrared, it might go through the shell. You could probably 3D print things inside of an egg and then do a magic act, crack the egg, and it has something there that's got your name in it or something.
Hey guys, I just got a phone call. I got to get going. So it's great to see everybody. Steve, Art,
Good to see you.
everybody else. But
We're going to be live next week, right? Right?
next week will be the first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're live next week if you're around.
I don't know.
Yay.
Obviously, I am in the office today. I was working at the show last week, but last Thursday was my birthday, so I'm now 49 years old. And
Happy birthday!
and my license expired, so I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. But I'm driving around anyway.
So this is the first time for 49, or
Yeah, I'm stopping this year. I'm not getting any older. This is it. I'm done. So anyway, I gotta go. I'll see you guys later.
take care.
Bye. I may just break down and buy one of those your UV carrying boxes. I think they're only like $50 for one of those.
So this is a closed container that has UV lights on the inside of it, or what?
Mm-hmm.
somewhere I have an EEPROM eraser. That's probably considerably more power than you'll get from LEDs. Got a little, I don't know, 5-inch long fluorescent tube in it. I'll see if I can find that thing.
Yeah, I've seen, yes, I know what you're talking about. I've seen people use those too.
Yeah, I haven't used it in 15 years. It
I was
held,
gonna,
I think, like 6 EEPROMs.
The price on this stupid thing has jumped significantly, of course. This thing was like 50 or 60 bucks. Should have bought it then.
yep.
It's a little turntable. I mean,
Hey, that's cool.
like Steve said, it's just a UV light source, and it just slowly rotates this thing around for,
A while.
a while. 2 hours, 3 hours, something like that.
Well, if you want to play, you can get an EEPROM eraser for 35 bucks on Amazon with
That-
free shipping. I don't know
That's-
if it's a tube or LED though.
It doesn't say what the light source is.
You know, I bet I have a whole bunch of UV LEDs in one of my buckets, because there was a project I had made a UV thingy for. I bet I've got a bunch of those things. I bet I can build one of those or something very similar.
So can you build
$17.
one?
Okay. Those free.
Yeah, that's not an LED. That's a gas tube of some sort.
Yep, and
They-
120 volts, so it draws some power. It says it's 6 watts. That's going to take you at least 24 LEDs to match. And it comes with little screws so you can mount it to something. It's almost 10 inches tall. Well, it's got an 8-inch tube.
That would that'd be plenty. And all you need is a little some sort of turntable that would turn it.
So this is just a fluorescent tube without the phosphor on the inside of the tube.
Right.
So basically it's probably a quartz tube because that'll pass UV much better than soda lime or borosilicate glass.
So my screen says your share is loading. And it won't let me stop the share.
Well, I see you. I don't see the share.
Oh, okay. That's bizarre.
Okay, can you put a link to that in the chat, because I'm not finding that one. I don't see that one. Never mind, I
Oh.
found it. Never mind, I
Oh.
found it.
Okay.
It just wasn't where the search I did just didn't pull it up the first time. I searched the second time and it came up. Go figure. Yes, see, that probably would work. Because all it needs is Well, that's really all it needs. It's
Yeah,
just,
that and go around. Go around is easy.
needs to go around kind of slow, but needs to go around many, many, many times. Probably get a couple of those and just kind of surround it, just like 4 of them.
Yeah. Then you don't need to turn, just
And then you
kind of
won't need
wiggle
to
back
go
and
around.
forth.
Yeah. Okay. That solves that problem. And that's going to be a whole lot cheaper than $109. Oh, well, of course. Okay. I just found one of those UV curing stations. Wait a second.
This is on Amazon.
No, it's at Micro Center again. And it said there was an open box for $29. It says
Well, there you go.
it's incomplete. That's what it says. Have to see what incomplete means.
Probably no UV tubes or something like that.
It looks like it's using LEDs. Looks like the same stupid thing, only made by a different company. Now, why didn't that come up when I searched the first time? I think searches are getting worse.
Didn't come up the first time because you hadn't left the page to look at something else.
Apparently. They've got one. Yeah. $29. $29 is it's a small one. That's the height of the LED tube is smaller. That's probably why it's cheaper. But for $29, it might be worth playing with. I mean, that's only 12, 13 more dollars than the LED tube or the fluorescent tube, but and I don't have to build anything.
Surely you've got a spare wheel and motor somewhere, though.
Yeah. Oh, there's plenty. I mean, I could do it. It really wouldn't take much. All I need is like a potentiometer and a battery to one of those things and just adjust it. I wouldn't even need an Arduino or anything to drive it. I just need a battery and a potentiometer.
So there's something I don't understand about the physics of the situation there. If you're rotating this thing around in a UV light source beam, how does it get through that outer shell that you've already cured?
I think that's why it takes hours to do this.
So you're saying that there a little bit of UV gets through, but not much.
And the thicker, the bigger it is, the longer it takes to cure. Back to the hard-boiled egg. Starts cooking on the outside first.
Yep.
Yeah, I think, I've had some pretty good luck with getting small stuff to cure in the sun, but that TARDIS didn't really cure, but it was only, it wasn't all that much bigger really, but it was hollow. So I probably just didn't leave it out in the sun long enough. Because it was probably only out there for 4 or 5 hours until the outside got hard. So, yeah, it's all a learning process. And all the videos that I've watched about how this work, how these work, almost nobody talks about the actual end curing process. They just say, put it in the sun. Put it in a UV light source. Oh, okay. So almost nobody. I can't hear you, Steve. You muted yourself.
Pardon? Even in the sun, you should turn it. Set it on top of something that spins in the wind.
That's probably, yeah. Well, like most of the small stuff that I did, I put it out there for a couple hours, then I went out and I turned it and flipped it over for a couple hours. So, it wasn't out there for just a couple hours. It was out there for a while.
Yeah.
But you're saying that the actual movement of it helps in the curing process as well.
No, it just cooks it from all sides evenly.
Yeah.
Right?
Kind of a rotisserie.
Yeah. Rotisserie would work, or 3D print a little cup anemometer and with a platform on top of it, put it on top of a fence post and let it spin.
Yeah. Or just get a little rotator. Let it rotate. But yeah. So I think if they've still got this open box one for $30 next week when we're live, I will go down there and get it for $30. Seems like a decent enough deal.
I'm going to be going by there Saturday. You want me to stop in and see if they've got it and get it for you?
Only if you think about it, and only if you are going to go there for something else.
Okay.
I mean, next Thursday, it's not all that long off, and how many. I'm more curious about, because it says it's incomplete. I'm more curious about what it
What's
is
missing?
what's incomplete about it. Yeah. If it's a power supply, it's probably not a big deal. If it's the fluorescent, not the fluorescent, if it's the LED tubes, that's probably a much bigger deal.
Yep.
So I'm more curious about what is incomplete about it and why it's $29, marked down from 100. So there might actually be something missing about this one. All right.
So that has a carousel built into it?
Yeah, here. So you can almost see it right there.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a different company than the other one. Yeah, that's a good picture. There's a little carousel. This is where you set the time. This is where you hit the button and it just spins around in circles. And there's another angle of it. And yet another.
So the amber plastic cover is apparently to block the UV from,
Hitting our
Outside.
eyes. From hitting our eyes.
yeah,
Yeah. The orange cover on the printer is to keep the UV from going into the printer. And the amber, I think, is meant to keep the UV from coming out of the printer.
probably so.
Or out of the cure. That's not a printer, it's a cure. But yeah. I'm more curious about what's missing than so. It's 7 o'clock. Do you know where your
That-
kids are? I know Art has heard that old PSA. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are?
Yeah. Well, my youngest is now 42, so
So you don't really care where they are.
well, I care that they're safe and so forth and so on, but
Yes.
the oldest is 55, so
Yes.
at this point, I certainly hope they're able to take care of themselves.
I would hope so. So I bet Patty has made me some dinner, and I bet it's.
And you've finished your pepperoni, have you?
I have finished my bowl of pepperoni,
Wow.
and I bet we're going to have a meeting next Thursday, and it's going to be
Yay.
at the library.
Very good.
All right. I will see everybody next Thursday.
See you next week.
So long.
Bye.
Take care.